Hello everyone, welcome to the Yarn Bowl. Today in this video we're gonna see how to crochet this cute colorful bubble wrap drawstring bags. I'm gonna show you how to make the small bag. If you want to make a bigger size bag, the pattern is available in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box. And a free written pattern of the smaller size bag is available in my website theyarnbowlcrochet.com. The link for that is available in the description as well. Meanwhile, if you are new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe to the Yarn Bowl and click on the bell icon as well so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. So I'm going to use Red Heart Super Saver yarn in two colors. One is in solid white and the other one that I'm using is my favorite, Retro Stripes yarn. So for the other shade I'm going to use the Polo Stripes yarn. And we'll need scissor and stitch marker, and I'm going to use 4.5mm crochet hook to work this bag. So I'm going to start off with the solid white color yarn first, and I'm going to work a magic ring. And then I'm going to work 3 chains. This chain 3 is considered as my first double crochet, and then I'm going to go ahead work 11 more double crochets around the magic ring. So once I have worked 11 double crochets, I'm gonna tighten the magic ring, and then I will work a slip stitch on top of my starting chain 3 to close this round 1. And then once that is done, you can secure the magic ring with a knot. So now we have completed our round 1. For round 2, I'm going to work a chain 3 again. This chain 3 is considered as my first double crochet. The idea is to work 2 double crochets on each stitch around. So this is our starting stitch. We'll work just chain 3 here, and while finishing off this round, I'm going to work 1 more double crochet on the stitch where I have worked my chain 3. So now go ahead, work 2 double crochets on each stitch around. So now, as I told you earlier, I'm going to finish off by working 1 more double crochet on this stitch where I have worked my starting chain 3. And then once that is done, I'm going to work a slip stitch on top of my starting chain 3 to close this round 2. So at the end of round 2, you will have 24 double crochet stitches. Always maintain the stitch count so that you don't miss any stitches or add more stitches to your rounds. So every time you just make a count of your stitch for each round and make sure it matches with that of the pattern. Now for round 3, I'm going to work a chain 3 again. This chain 3 is considered as my first double crochet, and then on the next stitch I'm going to go ahead work 2 double crochets. So the idea is to work 1 double crochet in one stitch and 2 double crochets on the next stitch around. So I'm going to repeat that pattern around. I'm going to work 1 double crochet in one stitch and 2 double crochets on the next stitch around. So we'll be continue working like that, and once that is done, I'm going to work a slip stitch on top of my starting chain 3 to close this round 3. So at the end of round 3, we will have 36 double crochet stitches. So make sure always to maintain your stitch counts at the end of each round. So now I have finished my round 3. Now for round 2 we are going to start with the body of the bag. So for that I'm going to work a chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Now I am going to pick up the back loop of the same stitch, and then I'm going to work 1 half double crochet on it. You can see the front and back loop. I'm just going to pick up the back loop and I'm going to work 1 half double crochet on it. And then I'm going to work 1 half double crochet on back loop of each stitch around. So go ahead, work 1 half double crochet on back loop of each stitch around, and then once that is done I'm going to work a slip stitch on top of my starting half double crochet to close this round 4. So at the end of round 4 I'm going to have 36 back loop half double crochet stitches. So now I'm going to work a chain 1 for round 5. This does not count as a stitch. And then I'm going to work 1 half double crochet on the third loop of each stitch around. So if you just gently twist your half double crochet stitch, you can see one loop behind, and we're going to grab that loop and work 1 half double crochet on it. So that loop right here is called as our third loop. So we're going to work 1 half double crochet on the third loop of each stitch around, and once that is done we are going to work a slip stitch on top of your starting half double crochet stitch to close this round 5. So at the end of round 5 we are going to have 36 half double crochet stitches worked on the third loop. So now I'm ending the round 5 by working a slip stitch on top of my starting half double crochet stitch. Now we'll be working pebble stitch for the next round. We're going to see how to do that. We're going to yarn over, insert the hook in the stitch, pull up a loop and repeat that 2 more times, and then we are going to yarn over, pull through all the 7 loops to get the pebble stitch. We'll see how to do that. I'm going to change my yarn color to retro stripes yarn, and then I will start working the pebble stitch. So we are not going to cut off the white color yarn. We'll be working through both these yarns alternatively for each round. So now I'm going to grab the retro stripe yarn and work a chain 1, and then I'm going to turn my work to the wrong side. So we'll be always working the pebble stitches on the wrong side. So I'm going to turn my work to the wrong side, and this is the right side, and I'm going to work a single crochet on the same stitch. So that chain 1 is not counted as a stitch. Now I'm going to work my pebble stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook in the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook on the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook on the stitch, pull up a loop. Now you have 7 loops on the hook. This is where you stop. Then you yarn over, pull through all the loops, and then you work 1 single crochet on the next stitch. So now if you're going to turn your work, you're going to see a nice squishy stitch. That's a pebble stitch. So we're going to repeat this pattern around. We'll work 1 single crochet in one stitch and 1 pebble stitch on the next stitch. I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook on the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert my hook on the stitch, pull up a loop 2 more times to get 7 loops on the hook, and then I'm going to yarn over, pull through all the loops, and then I will work 1 single crochet on the next stitch. We'll see this one more time. How to work the pebble stitch. I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook in the stitch, pull up a loop, and then I'll yarn over, insert my hook in the stitch, pull up a loop 2 more times to get 7 loops on the hook, and then yarn over, pull through all the 7 loops. So I'm going to repeat working 1 single crochet in one stitch and 1 pebble stitch on the next stitch around, and once that is done, I'm going to work a slip stitch on top of my starting single crochet to close this round. I'm finishing off my last pebble stitch. So always make sure to count your stitches. So you should have 18 pebble stitch and 18 single crochet stitch. That's where you stop. You always tend to add more stitches at the end, which will alternate your stitch count. So just count the number of stitches. You should have 18 single crochet stitches and 18 pebble stitches. Then you are good. Now just tighten this yarn, and we're going to change the yarn color. Pull this retro striped yarn inside and then change your yarn to white, and then work 1 chain which does not count as a stitch, and turn your work to the right side. So we'll be working on the right side now. I'm going to work 1 half double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round and 1 half double crochet on the pebble stitch of the previous round. So we're going to repeat this around. Ideally we are working 1 half double crochet on each stitch around, and once that is done, I'm going to work a slip stitch on top of my starting half double crochet stitch to close this round 7. So at the end of round 7 I should have 36 half double crochet stitches. Now we have completed our round 7. Just pull this yarn, the retro stripe yarn, inside before you work a slip stitch, because we'll be working the next round with that yarn, and count the number of stitches. You should have 36 half double crochet stitches. Now change the yarn color to retro stripe and tighten this white color yarn. Work a chain 1, and now we are going to work the pebble stitch round. So we'll be working on the wrong side. Turn your work to the wrong side and then work pebble stitches. So we're going to alternate between 1 round of pebble stitch and 1 round of half double crochet stitch with white color repeatedly until we reach round number 15. So I'm going to work 1 single crochet on the wrong side on the same stitch, and then I will work one pebble stitch on the next stitch. So I hope you got how we work the pebble stitch. So we're going to repeat working one single crochet in one stitch and one pebble stitch on the next stitch around. And once that is done, we're going to work a slip stitch on top of our starting single crochet to close this round 8. So at the end of round 8, we should have 18 single crochet stitches and 18 pebble stitches. So we work the pebble stitch round on the wrong side and all the other rounds on the right side. So now I'm going to work a slip stitch on top of my starting single crochet stitch to close this round. And once that is done, I'm going to change the yarn color to white again and work chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. And then turn your work to the right side and work one half double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round and one half double crochet on the pebble stitch of the previous round. That is, work one half double crochet on each stitch around, and once that is done, I will work a slip stitch on top of my starting half double crochet to close this round 9. So at the end of round 9, I'm going to have 36 half double crochet stitches. So continue working one pebble stitch round and one half double crochet round until we reach round number 15. So I'm at the end of round number 15. That's where I will fasten off my retro stripe yarn. We are not going to need this anymore, and then you can weave the ends. And then now I'm working a slip stitch on top of my starting half double crochet stitch of my round 15. So you should have 5 rounds of pebble stitches. That's where you stop and work one half double crochet round with white yarn. And now our body of the bag is completed. We are just going to finish off the bag with few more rounds. I'm going to work a chain 3. This chain 3 is considered as my first double crochet, and then I'm going to work one double crochet on each stitch around. As you know, we have the chain 1 of the previous round, so you tend to work 2 double crochet on the same stitch, but don't do that. So we are just going to work one double crochet on each stitch around, and then once that is done, we are going to work a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3 to close this round 16. So at the end of round 16, we should have 36 double crochet stitches. Now we are at round 17. This is where our drawstrings are going to go. I'm going to work a chain 3. This chain 3 is considered as my first double crochet. Then I'll work one more chain for the chain 1 space. Then I'm going to skip one stitch and I'm going to work one double crochet on the next stitch. Then I will work a chain 1 again, skip one stitch and work one double crochet on the next stitch. So we're going to repeat this. I'm going to work one double crochet in one stitch, chain 1, skip one stitch and work one double crochet, chain 1 on the next stitch. So we're going to repeat this pattern around, and once that is done, I'm going to work a slip stitch on top of my starting chain 3 to close this round 17. So at the end of round 17, I should have 18 double crochet stitches with in between chain 1 spaces. the end of round 17, I'm working a slip stitch on top of my starting chain 3 to close this round 17. So as I told you earlier, we should have 18 double crochet stitches with in between chain 1 spaces. Now we are going to work our last round of our bag. So this looks very cute and colorful. So I'm going to work a chain 3, and then this chain 3 is considered as my first double crochet, and then I'm going to work 1 double crochet on the chain 1 space of the previous round. So I'm going to work 1 double crochet on the double crochet of the previous round and 1 double crochet on the chain 1 space of the previous round. So we are going to repeat this pattern around, and then once that is done, I'm going to work a slip stitch on top of my starting chain 3 to close this round 18. So at the end of round 18, I'm going to have 36 double crochet stitches. So now I'm going to fasten off my yarn, and then I'm going to weave all the ends. So go ahead, weave all the ends of your bag. So then we'll work on our drawstrings. Weaved all the ends of my bag, and this is how cute it is. So always you can choose a variegated yarn for your pebble stitches and solid color yarn for the other rounds. Now let's make drawstring. So I'm going to work a slip knot, and then go ahead, work 80 chains. Go ahead, work 80 chains, and then we'll see what to do next. So I have worked 80 chains now, and then I'm going to work 1 slip stitch on the second chain from the hook, and then I'm going to repeat this around. I'm going to repeat this till the end. That is, I'm going to work 1 slip stitch on each chain till the end, and then once that is done, we'll work a slip stitch, fasten off, and weave the ends. So I have worked slip stitches till the end. So now I'm going to fasten off and weave my ends. I'm not going to attach both the ends together yet. I'm going to weave them through the bag around round 17 where we have the chain 1 spaces, and then I'm going to join both the ends of this string together. So I'm going to need to work 1 more drawstring for the bag. This is one of it, and work 1 more drawstring by working 80 chains and working slip stitches till the end. Gently just stretch your drawstring so that they become nice and loose, and then we'll weave these drawstring through the bag. So start with any space. Make sure you have 5 posts in between before you weave both these ends together. Then I'm going to weave the drawstring through the bag, and I'm going to stop when there is 5 posts in between. So now I have 5 posts in between, that's where I stop, and then I will weave both the ends together. Use a smaller size crochet hook to do that, it will be easy. So weave both the ends. Now you can push the weaved ends to the side of the bag so that they don't show up. So and then pull your drawstring so that this weaved end doesn't show up. So now we are going to attach the other drawstring. So we're going to start by attaching the drawstring on the opposite side after 4 posts in between. And we are going to repeat whatever we did for the drawstring 1, and when there is 5 posts in between the 2 ends, we are going to stop and then we'll weave the ends, and then we're going to just make sure to push the weaved ends on the side of the bag so that they don't show up. Now you have both the ends of your drawstring for the bag, and we are done with our cute bag. So here is our cute little drawstring bag, ideal for kids size. So you can use any size 4 yarn for this project. So make sure you choose to you use variegated yarn for your pebble stitches and a solid color yarn for all other rounds. So they are gonna look really pretty. So this is the other bag that I worked with Polo stripes yarn. So the purple one, which looks very pretty as well. So I have a pattern for a bigger size bag of the same design. So if you would like to work this bigger size bag, the pattern is available in my Etsy shop. So the link for that pattern is available in the description box. So check it out if you want to work a bigger size bag. But I have a free written pattern for this smaller size bag in my blog, theyarnbowlcrochet.com. So make sure to play around with colors. These bags are going to turn out really pretty in whatever colors you work, and they are very easy, quick make, perfect for gifts. So do check out my blog, theyarnbowlcrochet.com. The link of the free written pattern is in the description box. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do not forget to subscribe to the Yarn Bowl and click on the bell icon as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.